Hey guys, how are we today? I'm always so glad to come and see you guys on Mondays. Mondays kind of but I'm glad to see all of you guys. Hey Trista, it's so good to see you. And Neat Noodle, it's good to see you too. Hey Teacup Kraken, how are you? It's good to see all of you guys. Oh, guys, I do have some updates for you. Remember last week we were talking about Michael Stowers, who was wanted for. Remember he went to prison in 2008 for a murder. Just got out in March, and then he was wanted for killing his wife and unborn baby. Well, you guys, Saturday, St. Paul police got a call that he was at a laundromat. So they went there and they waited for him to come out. They haven't verified. Hey, hippie chick, it's so good to see you. And Brad, how are you? It's good to see you too. So they got a call that he was outside that laundromat and they waited for him to come out. And they ended up, there was a press conference afterwards. And I guess they're waiting on the autopsy to see for sure if it was him or not. And they won't say if the person that came out, hey, Tony, how are you? They won't say if the person that came out, if they had a gun or not. But anyways, the person who they thought to be Michael Stowers is passed away. No more. So that will be good if it is him because we won't have to worry about him hurting somebody else. Because you guys, I was so worried because he had already been to prison for 16 years. So you know that he wasn't wanting to go back. So that's why he's so dangerous. And I was so worried about it. So I'm still keeping an eye out to see for sure if that was him or not. So they only did about a 4 minute press conference. Hey, Debbie, how are you? Are you on your way home from work? Um, so I'm still keeping an eye on all of that. They did a 4 minute press conference, and I have that at the end if we want to watch that. There's something that I want to talk to you guys about. I had it on my community post, and happy Veterans Day. I always feel weird about on Memorial Day and Veterans Day. I don't know if you should say happy Veterans Day or not. I really don't. But I want to send my personal thanks to all those who served and all those that made the ultimate sacrifice in their families, you guys. It My stepdad, he retired from the Air Force, and the veterans will always have my utmost respect. And um, my mom, she is a military spouse, and so oh, you guys call it Remembrance Day. Uh-huh. Um, I don't know if you guys. It always makes me think of Katya, and you guys remember that I did. She was killed. She did two tours of duty, if I'm remembering correctly, you guys, and she was on her way out, according to her mom and her sister, that she was on her way out of the services, and but at the end she hadn't been talking to her mom and sister so much, and they think that she had spoken to a counselor and was gonna I don't know if you call it re-enlist, and but on May 18th of this year, she was stationed at Fort Campbell, but her apartment was over the Tennessee line in Clarksville. Hey, Music City Mom, how are you? It's good to see you. Um, and so, oh, I wanted to tell you guys too that the Delphi verdict is in, but I think that we have to wait for somebody to come out and tell us, and it takes about 2 hours for them to get um, Richard to get him from the prison to the court, and so I think we're expected to hear about 3 o'clock, and B Crumbs is keeping a lookout for us, and she's going to let us know as soon as it comes in. Debbie says, I can't change the setting to see all comments. Anyone else having the same problem? It is being so weird to me. Hey, Broken Justice, how are you? We're just getting started. No worries. Debbie, it's been so weird with me. You know how there's a gear up in the right corner? I wasn't able to set the subscribers only either. Dustin Andrews says, my family is from Letcher County, and I have blood related to Mariah Mullins that was killed by Floyd Frazier, and I'm related to blood to batter Devil John Wright. Well, welcome. Welcome. It's good to see you. So it being Veterans Day, you guys, we did a live about Caudill. The first video I put out was the week after that she was murdered, and then we did a live about her. But after that, you guys, I got her autopsy when I did my FOIA, and it's so worse than we ever could have thought, you guys. I just wanted to play the short for you guys that I made about her, and I always like to remind you guys about her on times like these because her murder is still unsolved. There is a $55,000 reward for information. The LULAC, the League of Latin American Citizens, they put up $20,000, and her mama put up $35,000 of her own money, you guys, to find who hurt her baby. So I just wanted to play that right quick, you guys, and just to remind you guys, to remind everyone on days like this. Let's see here.
Private First Class Caudill Duenas Aguilar began her career in 2018. After completing boot camp, she was transferred to Fort Campbell in Kentucky, where she would remain. She was a genuine person, a loyal friend, and most importantly, Caudill was a wonderful mother to her 4-year-old son, Kendrick. All of this would abruptly end when an ambulance was called to her apartment she shared with one other person on Saturday, May 18, 2024. A friend found Caudill deceased behind a locked door, and law enforcement would classify it as homicide. The next day, air assault was notified. If you know anything, please contact Detective Hofinga at 913-648-0656, extension 5684, or Crime Stoppers at 931-645-TIPS. Private First Class Caudill Duenas.
Broken Justice, after I did a live about Caudill and made that short, when I sent out for her FOIA, well, Case helped me because she lives in Tennessee, and you have to live in Tennessee. But they sent us her autopsy, you guys, and trigger warning, big trigger warning. They counted 68 stab wounds, and most of them were focused around her neck. And she also had GHB and alcohol in her system. You guys, she fought for our country, and she was supposed to be safe in her own home and feel safe in her own home. And then this happened to her. It's unacceptable. And for it to still be unsolved since May 18th, that's really unacceptable. So, hey, cutie pie, it's good to see you. Thank you. So I just wanted to remind you guys about her. I would actually like to do hey, Kelly P, how are you? I would actually like to do a whole other live dedicated to her because she's on my heart a lot, you guys. A whole lot. Okay, but now let's talk about what we're here to talk about today. You guys remember when we did our live about Lois, and Allison was gracious enough to come and tell us about her. And also, she had that Facebook group dedicated to Lois, and I learned so much there, you guys. Um, and this isn't, and when I spoke to Allison, it just happened to work out good because I don't reach out to families. Um, but with Allison, she was asking about how to do a FOIA. And so I messaged her how to do that. And I said, I know how to do this because I have a small YouTube channel. I didn't want her to think I was weird or anything, just sending off for them. And so it just worked out. And she offered to come and tell us about her mama. And so, but um, if anybody's out there that's related to Trish or Angela and would like to come tell us about her, um, you're absolutely welcome. I just feel like I'm bothering people sometimes, but I'll drop my email now and you can email me or it's on my about section. And please feel free to email me and tell us about them. You guys know that talking about the victims in life means the absolute most to me. We obviously do have to talk about their deaths too, but I just don't want that to be the focus because they were so much more than what happened to them. You guys know, you feel me? And what I'm going to tell you about today, you guys, is actually two more unsolved murders from Letcher County. And it's really sad because it was a mother and a daughter. And first, we're going to talk about Trish. And Trish was Patricia, and they called her Trish, and she was 40 years old, and she lost her life in August of last year. And we have some things to look at because her mama Angela, she shared about her baby and tried so hard 6 months to get the killers caught. And unfortunately, her life was taken this past March. And so, okay, first let's start and look at Angela left us something beautiful to look at about her baby. Um, Angela and she was married to Trisha's dad, Daryl, until he passed away in August of 2018. And so it was those two. Hey, NorCal Jim, how are you? I've been missing seeing you around, buddy. I'm going to show you guys a beautiful video that Angela shared about her daughter Trish, just so we can see her for a little bit on her Facebook page. And I can't share the music. She has My Heart Will Go On music set to it, but I can't play that because I'm not worried about um, money or anything like that. I just don't want them to take my video down, you know. Okay, I hope you have a great day, Kelly. I really do. Thank you for stopping by. So this Angela posted this to her. Remember, Trish was murdered on July the 31st, and they found her the next day. And her mama posted this video of beautiful pictures of her on October the 10th. Yep. So Trish was their only child. And they're from Letcher County too, you guys. And I think that these murders occurred only about 4 miles from where Lois lived. And remember, Lois was killed in December of 2021, and Trish was murdered August the 1st of 2023. There's her mama and her daddy and her. And Trish had 2 kids. She had a daughter and a son, and they live in Arizona, I believe. And she had one daughter, Olivia, who passed away before her. So I don't know anything about that, about her daughter that passed away. And I'll show you guys some more stuff. This was beautiful that her mama made for her. She was sharing stuff all the time. And now let's go over. I don't have a lot of videos about these cases either, you guys, because there's not a whole lot of. I only have one video that I found on the news. So basically, all I can do is read you guys from the newspapers. There's not enough coverage about these cases at all. In my opinion, absolutely not at all. Okay, first, they said they ruled Trisha's death as no foul play suspected. It was in a lot of the newspapers. I found this one just quickly that I'll show you guys. And this is from KSP. And it says Kentucky State Police troopers are investigating after a woman's body was found late Monday evening in Letcher County. Just after 11:30 p.m., KSP Post 13 in Hazard received a 911 call about an unresponsive woman on Bald Mountain Road in Whitesburg. Once troopers arrived, the woman was pronounced dead. Once the Letcher County Coroner's Office arrived on scene, the initial investigation found that 40-year-old Patricia Deatherage of Whitesburg has fallen over an embankment and died. Deatherage's body was taken to the state medical examiner's office in Frankfort for an autopsy. Foul play is not suspected at this time. So remember this, they're saying foul play is not suspected at this time. When they took her body for autopsy, after they did the x-rays, they found that she had died from one gunshot wound. So now I'm going to tell you guys about how Trish was found. Her mama would go on trips, and she said she left on the 27th of July. And when she got home, she expected her daughter to always pick her up. I believe they lived next door to each other, you guys. And she expected her daughter to pick her up, and she was nowhere to be found. Her car was at her house. Her lights were on. Her door was open. Her purse was there. And let me see here. Her purse was there, but she was nowhere to be found. So this was on November the 1st. This is that local newspaper where I got a lot of the information that I found about Lois, and also about the sheriff and the judge. This is a good resource here. Okay, it says Angela Roberts knew something was wrong when she came home from a trip and her only daughter wasn't there to meet her. Patricia Deatherage, 40, of Cowan, always picked her mother up from a friend's house when she came back, but on July 31st, she wasn't there. Deatherage lives next door to her mother on Bald Mountain Road, and her car was at Roberts' house when she got home. I went to her house looking for her, and the door was wide open. The lights were on. My gun was there, and her purse was there on the table, Roberts said, adding she had given her daughter the .380 pistol for protection. I know that in the South, and maybe other places too, but I know for sure around here, that's the way me and my mama are too. It's not like I would be scared of anything specifically. It's just if you're a woman, that's what you do, and for your daughters and stuff like that. And so that doesn't make me think specifically that there was anything specific they were afraid of, but I don't know. Before the night was out, Deatherage, who had been missing for at least 2 days, would be pronounced dead, and her case is now another unsolved in Letcher County. We didn't find her until 10 o'clock at night, and her dog was what alerted us. Oh, how sad, you guys. The dog was standing on the edge of the hill, barking all evening until a nephew finally went over the hill to find out why it wouldn't leave the spot on the roadside. Robert said her nephew didn't want to tell her what he'd found when he came back up, and he tried to stop her from going down to see herself. I slid down that hill on my butt in a dress, she said. Deatherage's decomposing body was tangled in vines 50 feet over the steep wooden embankment below Bald Mountain. The 911 dispatch center at Hazard said it received the call at 11:39, July 31st, something Roberts disputes. Okay, so Angela came home on the 31st, but I believe in another place that we'll probably see it, but she had left on the 27th, and then she spoke to her daughter via text on the 29th, and then on the she had also been seen on video at a gas station, and she had picked up Angela's pain medication. So she is on video doing that on a Friday. So Friday, 28, 29, 30. So this was on a Monday when they got home. So she was last seen on that Friday, and then she had spoken to her mama the next day, I believe. Okay. She said they called much earlier, but police could not find the address. Whenever the call was made, troopers arrived near midnight, and a preliminary investigation indicated that Deatherage fell over the embankment, causing an injury that resulted in death. Letcher County Coroner Perry Fowler said at the time that he couldn't say for certain that was the cause of death because of the condition of the body. He did order an autopsy, and it turned out something authorities didn't expect. Patricia Deatherage had been shot once in the head, but no gun was found at the scene. The investigation is continuing, and her death certificate says that the manner of death is pending investigation. Roberts does not believe it could have been a suicide. Well, I wonder why in the world, you guys, on the death certificate, it still says pending investigation. Surely, hopefully, that it wouldn't still say that. Usually I fill out a FOIA, you guys, but I filled out to the same KSP. I filled it out for Lois, and I filled it out for the sheriff in that instance, and they don't send me anything back whatsoever, which is fine. They're still doing an investigation, and I would never want them to harm that, but I don't know, you guys. Remember on Lois's paperwork that I got, they had put her gender as male too. She wouldn't do that to herself. She was murdered, Roberts said. Deatherage had picked up Robert's hydrocodone pain pills at a pharmacy like she was supposed to, and security video showed her leaving a gas station in Whitesburg on that Friday night, the anniversary of the flood of 2022. Yes, in this area, you guys, they had an awful flood in 2022. It kind of reminded me of what happened to those places in Helene. It was awful, devastating. I was reading about those too. You guys know how I have been keeping up to date about the recent floods too. It's awful. She wasn't seen again until her body was found that Monday night. She told me, "I've got your medicine. I'm putting it in the house," Robert said, but we looked everywhere and it wasn't there. Robert said her daughter had been involved with a bad crowd and acknowledged that she had been using drugs, but she said she wanted to stop and had cleaned up some. She smoked a little pot, Robert said. She was slowly taking herself off of meth, and they found a little of that in her system. You guys know that this doesn't matter to me at all. The victim, it doesn't matter to me what they were involved in or what they were doing, only that it might lead to answers in their death. You guys know it doesn't make them any less in my eyes. It makes me sad that it said that she was cleaning up and trying to clean up her life and stuff, and she didn't get that chance. It does make me really sad. Cutie Pie, did I say hi to you? If not, it's really good to see you. I've been missing you and Sunday Doodles. How are you? It's good to see you guys. I never held up for my kid. She still got in jail every time I turned around there for a while, but she hadn't been in jail for over a year, Robert said. She had cleaned herself up that much. She stayed right at home. She hardly ever got out and went anywhere. It does make me think too, you guys, just because she had a history of past drug use. Remember when we were looking into Judge Mullins and Sheriff Steins, that it was Ben Fields who was over the drug court, that was over the supervision, and that's all a mess over there. So it just makes me wonder. And remember, we read the court filings in that, and how women came forward and said that Ben Fields had asked them to do bad things in exchange for paying for their ankle bracelet and stuff like that. So it does make me wonder if she also went through things like that too. Hey Chopper, it's good to see you, dude. How are you? It's really good to see you. Let's see here, Robert. But I'm not saying that these murders have anything to do with that. But guys, this is a really small town. You know, I think they said that the county is 20,000 population, so that's about the same size of my holler too, you guys. And I know that everybody knows everybody, and that's just something to think about. You know. Roberts is not satisfied with how the case is progressing and asks that anyone who knows anything about where her daughter was or what happened come forward with the information. She said she believes whoever killed her daughter was looking for something and is still looking 3 months after her death. So this was 3 months afterwards. So around November. They've already broken into her house 2 or 3 times already, Roberts said. I don't know what they're looking for. So it's obviously her pain medication is missing, so they're not looking for that. So wonder what they are looking for, you guys. And this must be so scary because she lived next door to her still. So this was November the 1st. Okay, so I have some more. Let me see here. Okay. 11-1. So now we have to talk about, I'm going to share with you guys, Angela wrote on, now that I read to you guys what the newspaper said, now hey 71, how are you? It's good to see you. We're talking about 2 more unsolved murders from Letcher County. Oh, thank you, Broken Justice. That's really, really kind. That really means a lot to me, you guys. I try my very best to, I say there's so much bad in the world, and I don't want to add to it, and I want to do good, you know? Do my very best. And I know my platform is small, but you never know who's going to run across these videos. And I just wanted a place. I couldn't find any YouTube videos about Angela and Trish, you guys, and it made me sad. And so I want there to be this live so that people can refer back to it and at least something out there for them, you know. Okay, so let's go to Angela's Facebook page, and she tells, I'm going to read it to you guys right here first. She put it on her Facebook, and it was scrambled up, so I put it in order here so we could see it better. So the first, she posted this a few times, but on the first time was October the 26th. So remember, Trish she passed away on, they found her on August the 1st. So this is October 26th. And Angela says, this is the story that happened to my daughter and my family. And if anybody's out there that knows who done this, that they can let me know or go to police. And I would appreciate everybody's help because everybody around is in danger. There are a lot of kids comes up this holler on motorcycles side by side and other families. And this all happened in Donna Blair Holler in Whitesburg, Kentucky on Big Cowan. So if anybody knows anything about this, can you let me know? Thank you very much. My daughter was killed. She was thrown over the hill like she was trash. Well, guess what? She's not trash. Someone needs to pay for killing my daughter. Somebody shot my baby girl down. They need to pay for what they done. Please help me find out who done this. They are cold-blooded killers. Thank you, Broken Justice. Thank you so very much. Thanks, guys. I appreciate you guys so much. So she tried ever since this happened, she tried her very best. She never stopped talking about what happened to her baby. And in another article I read, they said that she had a list and was marking off names of people if they had an alibi and stuff like that. It kind of reminds me of Crystal Rogers' case. You guys know how, oh my gosh, you guys, this is such similar. I'm just now thinking about it. But remember how Crystal's dad, he had files and files and had lists of who he thought could have harmed his daughter. And he was murdered too, remember? This is such like that, you guys. Oh my goodness. Okay, she says, my name is Angela Jeanette Fields Roberts. Do you guys see this? Fields Roberts. Fields. Ben Fields. This is a small community, so that's just something else we'll put in the back of our brain. Neat Noodle said Crystal's family worked so hard for justice. They really did, Neat Noodle. I believe that her trials are starting in February, and my big sister told me that that she looks into all this stuff too. We have a lot of the same interests, but she said that it's going to be in Bowling Green, Kentucky, is where they're going to hold the trials, I believe. She says, I'm the daughter of the late James and Jeanette Fields and the widow of the late Darrell Clay Roberts. We had one beautiful daughter, Patricia May Roberts Deatherage, lovingly known as Trish Roberts. On July 27th, I had to leave town for a few days. While I was away, Trish and I kept in touch via text messages. She mentioned spending time with her friends Sylvia, Jessica, Mallory, Missy, Nick, Corbin's wife, and Logan. So she's naming names here, you guys. To my knowledge, these individuals were the last to see my daughter alive. The last time I spoke to Trish was on July 29th at 3:42 p.m. So they said when Trish was found that, I hate to say it, you guys, but they said that she was decomposing. So she had been there a while. Who knows if it wasn't right after she talked to her mama, you know? Upon returning home on August 1st, I expected to be welcomed by Trish, who usually met me outside, but this time was different. I found my ever-locked car unlocked, and Trish was nowhere to be found. My search led me to her house, where I found her purse and my gun, but no sign of her. After an exhaustive search and call to my nephew Tyler, we located Trish that night. Her dog led us to her, barking incessantly on a hill near the house. The emergency services were called, but their response was delayed due to unfamiliarity with our location. When they did arrive, we were met with state troopers and fire department personnel whose handling of the situation was far from satisfactory. It was not until the early morning of August 1st, 2023, that they discovered Trish. She had been shot and discarded down a hill 50 feet below her house. The local newspapers inaccurately reported that Trish fell and died, but the truth is far more sinister. She was murdered and her body discarded down the hill. This tragedy has cast a long shadow over our community in Whitesburg, Letcher County, and my home in big town of Blair Hollow down on Bald Mountain. I was further devastated. Listen to this, you guys. I had no idea that this even happened. This is absolutely awful. I was further devastated when I had to pay $500 to retrieve Trish's body after an autopsy, a cost I believe the state should cover. I also feel like the investigation into Trish's murder, led by investigator Scott Caudill, has been lacking. He is also the investigator that's over Louis Trent Rogers. Remember, you guys? Furthermore, the local coroner, Perry M. Fowler, shared details of Trish's death publicly before I was informed, a fact I find deeply disrespectful. The pain of this tragedy is saddened by the knowledge that Trish's murderer is still at large. As a grieving mother, I am making a call to action. If anyone has information about this case, a website will be established for anonymous tips. Alternatively, you can speak to me directly. I am known in our community, and I am not afraid to seek justice for Trish. Bless her heart, you guys. That sounds like my mama. My mama would be the exact same way. Mama bears, you guys. Okay, B. Crumbs, thank you so much. You can let me finish reading this right quick, and then you can tell us if you don't. Oh, guilty. Okay. Wow. I had no idea, you guys. Thank you guys so much for telling us. I was worried about that, and I don't know how I feel as long as the families. Oh my gosh, you guys, I really don't know how I feel about that. Neat. Thank you guys so much for telling us, though. Thank you, B. Crumbs, so very much. And Hippie Chick, you too. Thanks, guys. Neat Noodle says, that's outrageous. How could they charge her to get her body? I know, right? It seems like that there should be a victims fund that perpetrators, I do know they have that perpetrators pay, and that they have to pay to that victims fund, and people can use it for certain things. They should be able to use it for that. Okay, in closing, I want to emphasize that Trish was a mother herself. Her children now have to grow up without their mom, and that is a reality no child should have to face. I know who committed this terrible act, and I hope they receive the justice they deserve. And the person responsible, I say this, you may have thought you could do this while I was away, but you are wrong. I am here. I am not afraid, and I will fight for justice for Trish. This is all in loving memory of my daughter, Patricia Trish May Roberts Deatherage. Rest in peace. Aw. Hey, Miss Arnold, how are you? It's good to see you. So you guys right here, she says she knows who did this. She says, I know who committed this terrible act. Oh, you guys, I wish I could go back and tell her to be careful, but you probably couldn't change her mind. If it was my family, you couldn't change my mind. I would do exactly what she's doing. Okay, now we have I am Miss Arnold. Thank you so much for asking. I am. Thank you. So she wrote that on 10/26. Now we have to let's look at her Facebook page, you guys. Let me take you guys straight to Angela's Facebook page. Patricia's her birthday was on 3/6. Okay, this is Angela's Facebook page. So we looked at that. That was some beautiful pictures. And that was what we read, where she was telling exactly what happened that night from her perspective. She posted that a few times. Bless her. So that's what I read, you guys. And then on November the 6th, she says, if anybody knows anything about my daughter's death, please let us know. I don't see why anybody would want to hurt her. Yeah, y'all had your argument, but this should have never happened. So please, if you know anything, let me know. I'm her mom, Angie. So it sounds like there was an argument that she heard about. 71 says, you can't change people's minds. They feel like they are safe, and who knows what's around the corner. Yeah. You're exactly right. And she also said on the same day, if someone don't step up and tell everything that's going on in these murders, it's not going to stop around here. And you never know. It may be one of your children that you find in that way. And if you've not lost a child that way, you don't know what it's like. If you really love Tricia and thought the world of her, like you all said you did, then you will step up and let me know who done this so we can stop all these murders around us. And if you have to, you can call my telephone. And she leaves her telephone number. And she says, my name's Angie. I'm Trisha's mom. She posted pictures of her. Here's another picture of her. This is my baby. And if anybody knows anything about what happened to her, can you let me know? Thank you. And then this was something that she went to a tree lighting service in December. I was just going to let everyone know that they were doing this tree lighting thing in memory of Patricia Roberts' Deatherage. So if anybody wants to come to it, it's going well. Bless her heart. This is in loving memory of my daughter, Patricia. Everybody to her as Trish Roberts. I love you and I miss you. Mom should have been here for you. Everybody better watch their kids and watch them carefully, because don't seem like the police is doing anything about her death. Someone shot her and killed her and just threw her over the hill like a piece of trash. And everybody better think about this that don't want to help. It could be your child that you love very dearly, and it just seems like no one cares anymore. And I won't give up until I find out who done this. I just hope she remembers how much I loved her and miss her. Love, Mom. Oh, you guys. So I'm trying to take you guys up here to what she posted in March. This was I think I read that to you guys. I know, Trista. Trista says it's so heartbreaking, so many suffering families. I know. So now on March 6th, it would have been Trisha's birthday, so she writes this message to her. Today would have been Trisha's 41st birthday, and I just want to wish her a happy birthday, no matter if she is in heaven, and let her know how much I love and miss her. And if anybody knows who shot her, come to me about it, because the cops is not doing nothing. You can let me know about it. But if you got any pictures of her today, please put them on Facebook. And my daughter, Patricia May Roberts, Deatherage, you will always be in my heart. I love you and miss you. Love, Mom, Angie Roberts. So she posted this on the 6th. So now I have to tell you guys what happened on March the 7th. Three 8/24. Police are investigating the death of a Cowan woman who has been vocal publicly about the murder of her daughter last summer. Angela Roberts, 58, of Bald Mountain Road, was pronounced dead shortly after 11 p.m. last night, March 7th, near a cemetery on Dinah Hill Road. Police have not released information about the incident, but sources say it is being investigated as a homicide. At least 2 other women have been murdered in that area since December of 2021. The latest was Robert's daughter. Roberts had been begging for information about who killed Patricia May Roberts Deatherage, 40, last year. Deatherage's decomposed body was found tangled in vines over a hillside near her home on Bald Mountain on August 1st, 2023. She had been missing for at least 2 days. Authorities first thought she had fallen. However, an autopsy revealed she had been shot in the head. On March 6th, the day before Angela Roberts' body was discovered, she posted a photo of her daughter on Facebook, and then there's the message that she wrote that I read you guys. Hey, Miss W, it's so good to see you. I hope you're having a great day too, and I love you back bunches. I hope you're doing all right going back to work. So that happened, and there is one video that I found from the news for either of them, and I'll play that for you guys next.
Your health matters. At Home Place Clinic, it's our priority. HIV risks are real, and knowing your status is crucial. PrEP is a pill that can prevent the transmission of HIV.
Commercial.
It's been a game changer in reducing the risks. Call us for your appointment today.
Mountain Comprehensive Care Center.
Want to go now to some breaking news out of Letcher County. We first told you about a death investigation last night at 11, and this afternoon, Kentucky State Police released some new information. They identified the victim of this alleged murder now as 59-year-old Angela Roberts. The Letcher County Coroner's Office pronounced Roberts dead at the scene. They say she died from an apparent gunshot wound, and again, police are calling this a murder investigation. We will continue to update this story as we learn more on WYMT.com and the WYMT News app.
So that's all I got, you guys, for videos. But I do have a few more articles, and it tells us what she was supposed to meet. I don't think it was the same. That was her nephew that was with her when she found Trish. But I think that it's her cousin that she was supposed to meet at her house. And when she didn't show up, he was going off the hill. And I guess that the cemetery that she was found at was at the bottom of the hill, and he saw her car there. And when he went and knocked on the window, and it was about 8 o'clock that night. And when she wouldn't move, he broke the window with a log and seen her in there, and that's what happened to her. So this was on March 13th, the next week. It says, last October, Angela Roberts had no doubt whether her daughter's death 3 months earlier was murder or suicide, even though the death certificate said the manner of death was unknown. I still don't get that, you guys. It should have definitely said homicide. Because if her gun that her mama loaned her was inside, I mean, she couldn't have shot herself inside and then stumbled over the hill and got wrapped up in a bunch of vines, you guys. That don't make no sense. She wouldn't do that to herself. She was murdered, Roberts told the Mountain Eagle then. Now 5 months after she began speaking up publicly about her daughter's shooting death, Roberts is dead, and there's no doubt about how. Kentucky State Police are investigating it as a homicide. Angela Jeanette Roberts, 58, of Bald Mountain, was pronounced dead shortly after 11 p.m. March 7th. And then it tells where her funeral was. It says Roberts' body was found in the parking lot of the Dinah Blair Cemetery nearby. Police have released little information about the incident, but other sources say Roberts had apparently been shopping. She still had groceries in her car, you guys. She too had been shot. Roberts has been begging for information about who killed Patricia May Trish Roberts Deatherage, 40, last year. Deatherage would have been 41 on March 6th, and Roberts had posted online asking people to remember Deatherage on her birthday and to please contact her if they knew anything about her daughter's murder. Deatherage's decomposed body was found tangled in vines over a hillside near her home on Bald Mountain Road on July 31st. Authorities first thought she had fallen. However, an x-ray taken during the autopsy revealed she had been shot. And then this is the message that she wrote to Trish on her birthday. And then it tells about the grandchildren. You guys, remember also how she had given Trish a gun for protection. Well, that makes me believe, and since after all this, I'm sure that she would be worried about her own safety. But it said, I think we're going to read it, but it said that there was no gun found in her car. That doesn't make any sense to me. I feel like, okay, if she was at the bottom of her hill at this parking lot, I don't think she would have pulled over for just anybody. It had to be somebody that she knew, I feel. And I feel like she was protecting herself. So what happened to it? Did somebody take it out of her car? Those were two questions that I had on my mind about it. I think that we'll read about it. I have a few more articles. So that was on the 13th, and then this is on the 27th. Police say there's nothing new to update on 3 murders in the Cowan area. Police say there are no new updates on 3 unsolved murders that occurred at Whitco and Cowan. Okay, so that means that Lois Rogers Trent and Trish and Angela, they were all killed within 27 months. The deaths have left the community fearful that a killer is living among them and wonder whether all 3 of the murders are connected. 2 were mother and daughter, killed 6 months apart. The other had no relation to them. The first killing occurred in December, a little more than 2 years ago. Lois Rogers Trent's son called 911 at 3:17 p.m. on Sunday, December 12th, 2021. If you guys are just now, if you guys didn't watch my live before about Lois, I'll link it for you guys so you can watch it, because it gives a lot more information, and it also has in the description the Facebook group that Allison runs for her mama, and you guys please join that. They do have a few updates about Lois, about DNA. I believe they're going to do some more DNA testing. So that will be awesome. There is my live about Lois. Please go back and watch that if you guys have missed it. And reported he has found his mother lying in a pool of blood on the floor of her home at 80 Trent Drive in Whitco. Sources said Kentucky State Police arrived at the scene first and kept the area locked down, not allowing emergency medical personnel in the house. While authorities have confirmed she was murdered, they have not released any other details. Even though the manor had not been released publicly, though some with close ties to the police say she was bludgeoned. It was absolutely awful, you guys. And 83, I think she was 82 or 83. She just had a birthday, October 25th. She would have been 85, I believe. Okay, Trista, I hope you have a really good day too. Thank you so much for coming and helping us. I appreciate you so very much. And the person who cleaned up the crime scene, she did a live, and they share it in the Justice for Roy's Facebook group, you guys, and she goes into great detail about it, and it will absolutely break your heart. Nobody should have done that to this lady. Nobody deserves that. Miss Trent was recently widowed. Her husband, Jack Trent, 82, of Whitco, died 2 weeks before her after a long illness. She was well known in the community. Her parents, the late Alicia Rogers and Roxy Lorena Hughes Rogers, ran the Rogers Cafe at the foot of College Hill in Whitesburg for many years, and she worked there in the 1960s. Her brother offered his Harley-Davidson as a reward for a while, but no one came forward. Her sister said they knew there was DNA at the scene, but testing had not been completed. Remember, you guys, we did hear that they did some testing, but the blood was mixed with Lois's and the perpetrators, and I believe that they're sending that off to a bigger crime lab to hopefully get the perpetrator narrowed down. And I'll keep you guys updated about that. Please help me pray for that one too, you guys. 4 miles down, Kentucky, 931, and 19 months later. So just 4 miles from Lisa's house, you guys. Angela Jeanette Roberts, 58, of Bald Mountain Road at Caudill, came home from a trip to learn her 40-year-old daughter, Patricia May Trish Roberts Deatherage, hadn't been seen in 2 days. The car was there. The gun she had left her daughter for protection was there, but her door was open, and Roberts' pain medication that Deatherage had picked up at the pharmacy for her was missing. The family called her friends and searched the area they best they could, but on July 31st, the dog alerted them to an area over the hill from Deatherage's trailer. A cousin went over the hill to look and found her decomposed body tangled in vines. She was pronounced dead on August 1st, 2023, shortly after midnight. She had been missing for at least 2 days, and then it tells about how they found the bullet in the autopsy. Roberts had been begging for information about who killed Deatherage, and people acquainted with her said she had told them she didn't want them to call the police. She wanted them to call her. Roberts' friends say had a list of people she suspected of her daughter's murder. Yep, so right here it's saying she had a list and was marking off names as she eliminated them as suspects. Deatherage would have been 41 on March 6th, and Robert had posted online that day asking people to remember Deatherage on her birthday and asking them again to please contact her if they knew anything. Robert's body was found the next evening in the parking lot of the Dinah Blair Cemetery near her home. Police have released little information about either murder, but other sources say Roberts had apparently been shopping and still had groceries in her car. She, too, had been shot. She was pronounced dead shortly after 11 p.m. March 7th, 6 months and 1 week after her daughter. I think I do have a picture of the Dinah Blair Cemetery and the parking lot that I can show you guys here. And this is, I got this from Cowan Elementary School alumni. So this is Trish. Beautiful. Let me see here. And that's her daddy that passed away in 2018, and that's her mama. And this is the cemetery parking lot that I found. Well, dang. Let me see if I can zoom in some. Yeah. I was going to say that I hoped that they had cameras. A lot of cemeteries do have cameras because of people vandalizing them and such, but it doesn't look like they have one there. Okay, now there is a small update that I want to tell you guys about. What happened with sheriff's sons and the judge was awful, you guys. But a good thing is that it did bring more light to this area and these unsolved murders. He was the sheriff during all of these, I believe, but it was the Kentucky State Police that handled all of these. I really don't think that he had any say in doing the investigations. 71 says, isn't it kind of odd that these people didn't have ring cams of their property, or wouldn't the camera have even reached to where the driveway was? That's a very good question. Remember in Lois's murder, her son Scott did say that there was ring footage from the neighbors and one business, and he did see what was on there, but he hasn't said, of course. But in this instant, I'm not sure, but that is a very good question. Let's see here. So this was just last month, the 16th. It said, Kentucky State Police are examining DNA evidence in their investigation of the murder of Angela Jeanette Roberts this spring. The KSP crime lab collected samples and swabbed Robert's car at the time of the crime and are attempting to determine whether hair found in the vehicle belonged to a cousin of Robert's who discovered her body and called 911 or to the killer. Roberts, 58, of Bald Mountain, was pronounced dead shortly after 11 p.m. March 7th, about 6 months after her daughter was found shot to death near her home. New information says Robert's cousin was supposed to stop by her house the evening of her death but didn't find her there. When he started off to the other side of the mountain, he saw her car at the cemetery and pulled in beside it. That's when he saw she was slumped over in the driver's seat and didn't respond when he knocked on the window. He told police he used a log he picked up to break a window and gain entry into the car and tried to get her out. He said he discovered the blood and realized she was dead when he tried to pull her out of the car. That's when he called 911 and waited for police to arrive. According to documents in this case, the cousin said he had touched several places in the car while trying to move Roberts, and police are now trying to determine if samples collected came from him or someone else, perhaps the person who shot Roberts. There was no gun found at the scene, though Roberts was known to carry one or more firearms. That's what I was talking about, you guys. Remember when we were talking about Lois? Allison said that she packed to the gills. She had 4 purses and 1 firearm in each purse when they were just going to the hospital, And like I said, Angela said that she had given Trish one for protection. So that she would have one for her own protection too, at least one. And especially in times like this where she was asking around, trying to find out things that people didn't want her to know, Roberts had been asking anyone with information about who killed Patricia May Trish Roberts Deatherage, 40, in 2023 to contact her. Deatherage, who was Roberts' daughter, would have been 41 on March 6th, and Roberts had posted online asking people to remember Deatherage on her birthday and to please contact her if they knew anything about her daughter's murder. Deatherage's body was found over a hillside near her home on Bald Mountain Road on July 31st, 2023, and she was pronounced dead on August 1st, shortly after midnight. She had been missing for at least 2 days. She had been shot in the head. The new documents show Roberts had also been shot in the head. Roberts is the 3rd woman to be murdered in that area of Letcher County within a 27-month period. Lois Roberts Trent, 82, was found dead. So she was 82, you guys. Was found dead in her home at Whitco, December 12, 2021, apparently bludgeoned to death. I really don't think that Patricia and Angela's murder are connected to Lois's murder, you guys. I believe that Lois's murder has something to do with Jack passing away 3 weeks before that. And it's also, unfortunately, Miss Trent was bludgeoned to death, and then these 2 were both shot in the head. I just feel like Angela was in her car, and it seems like maybe somebody would have had to get close to do that. And I just feel like it would have to be somebody that she knew, you guys. Is that how you guys feel too? I think that's all the information that I have for you guys. Let me show you some more pictures. Oh, let me do this first, you guys. Let me see here. On the bottom of my screen is the phone number that you can call if you have any information. It's Officer Scott Caudill at KSP Post 13 in Hazard, and there's the phone number at the bottom of my screen. Debbie said maybe she had come across something. That's sad. She just wanted justice for her baby. I know, Debbie. It's awful. That's all that she wanted. But, you guys, I have to take comfort that, in my faith, I believe that they're together now. and there's no pain or sadness. You know, they're together now, I feel. Let me show you guys the pictures that I found of them. These are the ones from Angela's video. Trish was a beautiful girl, you guys. And there's Miss Angela. And there's her daddy, Daryl Roberts. And he passed away in August of 2018. And I believe that it was an illness, so not connected, you know. And here she is again. Beautiful. So I think that that's all that I have for you guys. I appreciate you all stopping in to, oh, you guys, let me see. I did get one other thing about Michael Stowers. Let me see here. Let me find it, you guys, before I, So they're thinking that, oh, you guys, let me tell you this. Okay, I do have to tell you this. Remember last time I told you guys that somebody from our community, there is a missing lady from their area, Amanda Martin. And there is a video that I want to show you guys from her daughter. She has come forward. And they said that where Amanda was staying at was in an RV, and the parking lot was gravel, the driveway was gravel, but when whoever she was staying with came back from the store, they found her shoes and her phone, I believe, all of her belongings. So let me show you guys this video. I think that now that we have enough where we could do a whole live about Amanda, and but I want to show you guys this just to, so Amanda was last spoken to by family on September 13th, 2024. Her last known whereabouts were around Frog Pond Road in eastern Scott County, Indiana. You guys, Scott County, Indiana. Amanda has long brown hair, and police are seeking help from the public in finding Amanda Martin, who they feel is in extreme danger due to a medical or mental illness. And I would like to show you guys that video. Well, let me see here. It says it doesn't give her stats right there. She's 40 years old. Let's watch this video, you guys, and then I will let you go. Do this ad, and then I'll come back and get you guys.
Year-old female that's missing from the Blotcher area, last seen September 13th in the Blotcher area by a family member.
That's Scott County, Indiana Sheriff Jerry Gooden speaking there, giving us an update on Amanda Martin, who has been missing from her community for nearly 2 months. Over 1 month later, her family is still looking for answers.
Amanda's family says she has a history of mental illness and disappeared from her home in Blotcher, Indiana, about 40 miles north of Louisville. Gabriel Gonzalez has the latest on the search.
My mom had been staying with a friend, and he ran to the store, and when he came back, she wasn't there.
Mariah Martin never imagined her mother's photo would appear on a flyer like this.
We have a $1,500 reward out for anyone who can lead us to where she is.
Amanda Martin went missing September 13th.
So,
she has beautiful hair, you guys. That's what I always put in my brain to keep an eye out for. And she's 40 years old. And this is in an area from someone from our community, you guys. So it means a lot to me to always share what I can. So I wanted to just make sure that we keep reminding people about her too.
Her phone, her wallet with all of her cards in it, her shoes, her false teeth, all of her clothes, everything, like it was left as if she was still there, but she wasn't.
This is the road.
Her shoes, her phone, and her false teeth, you guys. I was thinking about that. And I think that people only take out their false teeth at night when they're getting ready to go to bed. So that makes me think that something may have happened to her even before, like at nighttime or something like that. You guys know?
That Amanda was living off of at the time of her disappearance. Her family tells me officials have searched this pond off of Frog Pond Road, but have come up empty-handed.
We've been searching, we've made flyers. The sheriff's office and the state police have been searching and looking into any leads, but we haven't had any sign of her yet.
Police have used drones, dogs, even boats in hopes of finding Amanda. Scott County Sheriff Jerry Gooden keeping the community updated on Facebook. This was his last message back in October.
We will not stop looking for Amanda until she is located. If you know where Amanda is and you're not telling us, then shame on you. You need to come forward. You need to give the information that you have so that we can either bring home Amanda safe or we can find information or get information that leads us to the recovery of Amanda's body.
Her daughter absolutely deserves answers, you guys. I know that it's awful what I don't know, and thank God, literally, that I do not know firsthand what these families go through. But I just hear so many of them say that at least when their loved one is found deceased and then the person who is responsible is put behind bars, they do feel a little bit better. But Mariah here has no answers at all. So that would be worse. That I've heard that it would be worse.
It's just been very stressful. A lot of just like not having the information that, you know, we wanted to have and not like hearing a lot about it, not, you know, knowing anything new.
The search has extended across Scott County from Austin to Blocher and Lexington, Indiana. In Scottsburg, Gabriel Gonzalez, WHAS 11, on your side.
And again, the family is offering a $1,500 reward for information that leads to the whereabouts of Amanda. Now, if you have information to provide that would assist the Scott County Sheriff's Office in locating Amanda Martin, please call this number, 812-752-5550. You can remain anonymous.
Missing.
I know that. Hey, Aries, how are you? It's good to see you, dude. I am good. Thank you so much. Guys, I've only been going live once a week, and so it's because that these cases mean a lot to me. So I research and try to get all my facts straight, and so that does take a while. And I know that I've kind of filled this live with a lot of stuff. We need to remember Katia Duenas Aguilar. She was I told you guys about her first at the beginning of the live. She was the female soldier that was murdered on May the 18th of this year. Her murder is still unsolved. Nobody has been brought to justice for that. And then, of course, the main big part of our live was about Miss Trish and her mama Angela, who Trish was murdered. She was found on August 1st, 2023. And then her mama was found deceased one day after Trish's birthday. So March the 7th of 2024. Those murders are still unsolved. And if you have any information, please come forward. Please come forward, you guys. The number is on the bottom of my screen. And then at the last, of course, Amanda Martin, who was last spoken to by family on September 13th of 2024, I believe, and she is missing from Scott County, Indiana. So you guys, please help me. Aries says, thank you, Mo, and everyone here for understanding me and making me feel good here away from the madness. Well, absolutely, Aries, and everybody is welcome here. And I try to stay away from the madness myself, dude, you know. I see what's going on, but I try to just keep my little community here, you know, and try to bring awareness and things like that. And I hope this is a little safe spot for everybody. So thank you all for coming. And you guys, please help me pray that the perpetrators of all of these crimes that we've spoken about today, that they get it on their heart that they have to come forward, or the people that know about, if they know anything, you don't know the little part that you may have that could finish the whole puzzle. You guys, please come forward. And in any of these cases, there's anonymous ways that you can even submit evidence. I know in Kautia's murder, for the $55,000 reward, you can, I think I put it on my community post today. There is a website that you can even give your information anonymously and still get the reward even that way, you guys. Aries says, Richard Allen guilty on all counts. I don't know how I feel about this. I don't know either, Aries. I really don't know. And I don't understand why. I believe that the judge in that case, she had been advocating for cameras in the courtroom in Indiana before this, and I don't understand why she wouldn't want cameras, so it could be complete transparency, especially how in this case everybody has had all the conspiracy theories in their brain, and there's so much to it, and I just don't understand why she wouldn't want cameras in there for complete transparency. Y'all know what I'm saying? Or remember how they did it in Lori Daybell's trial? We could only hear audio, and that was at the end of the day, but we could at least hear audio. And then also they let cameras come in for the verdict, at least, you know? I don't know how I feel either, dude. I really don't. Well, thank you guys. Thank my mods for coming to help me today. You guys don't know, my mods are my friends that help me mod, and they're not my mods, you know, they're my friends, absolutely. And they spend their time helping me, their own time. And I just appreciate that so very much. And all of you guys that come and listen to me, that means so much too, because your time is worth more than money. People can make more money and get more money, but you can never get your time back. So that means so much, you guys coming and spending your time with me. Absolutely. I'm sorry today that it was mostly reading. I didn't have a whole lot of videos or other resources, but I'm glad that there is this live now with what I've found out together. So there is at least something on YouTube that can bring awareness to them. You guys know, you guys feel me? Okay, I think that's all that I have for you guys. If I hear anything else about the guy that I spoke about, Michael Stowers, last week, I'll leave it on my community tab. Hopefully that was him, you guys. I'm not saying that I'm glad somebody has passed away or anything like that, but if that is him and he is passed away, then he can't hurt anybody else. And Demara's family won't have to sit through a trial and things like that. So that's how I feel about it. Okay, I love you guys, and I'll see you next time. And remember to take your vitamins and say your prayers. 2 very important things. And I love you guys, and I'll see you next time, okay? Bye-bye.